What is up, everybody? We are back here for the NFL King Film Sports Week 6 picks and predictions with a betting lock in here. And boy, am I excited for this week after we had an entertaining slate of games last week. Let's get into the recap here. So, first of all, on that Thursday night game, Bears at Commanders, a big surprise as the Bears were big underdogs. We actually had them +6. I didn't have them winning outright, and the Commanders end up losing that one there by 20 points on their home field. Bears get their first game in the win column there. Then another shocker on Sunday early morning, the London game. The Jags had been staying in London the whole week, and they ended up getting the best of the Bills there. Buffalo's offense just was non-existent for the first 3.5 quarters there. Bills put up a good surge late, but were not able to get the win there. Again, I had a Jags betting lock at +6, but had the Bills out right there. Then Texans at the Falcons. I had the Texans to win this one. This one was a crazy game late, going back and forth here, but the Falcons had the ball last. Desmond Ridder leads a game-winning drive as they get the game-winning field goal as time expires there. Then Lions hosting the Panthers. The Lions won big there, not even close. Panthers at 0-5, winless in the NFL right now. Then Titans at Colts, very close game here, but Gardner Minshew ends up leading the Colts to victory as Richardson went out with an apparent shoulder injury there. The Colts get the win, and they look like they could be a frisky contending team in this AFC South there. Then we have the Giants at the Dolphins. This one was all Dolphins, and if it weren't for a couple mistakes by Tua, the Dolphins could have won by a lot more, but still, they won by multiple possessions there. Then Saints at Patriots. I had the Saints winning this one. I thought it would be a low-scoring dogfight in that one, but it was just low-scoring for the Patriots. 34-0, the Saints win this one. In back-to-back weeks, Belichick has his two worst losses as a Patriots head coach by 34 and 35 points there, so not good things going on in New England. Then Ravens at the Steelers. We had our betting lock here. Steelers +5. They end up winning outright there. Just a classic AFC North game. Goes under the point total. Very low scoring. The Steelers down 10-0 for a lot of the game. They end up storming back and winning that one 17-10 there. That gets our free lock of the week to 4-1 this season. So definitely be sure to tail that along with all of our other picks there, as we've been very profitable on betting locks this year, as we'll get to the Discord later. Bengals ended up beating the Cardinals there. Eagles beat the Rams, and then the Broncos choked it to the Jets at home there. Some big storylines surrounding that game. Zach Wilson gets it done for the Jets in the Mile High. Then the Vikings, I was my upset pick against the Chiefs, and they had a decent chance to win this game. I felt like just a couple mistakes there, some potential calls that didn't go their way, but Chiefs just ended up being the better team in that one. Then Niners ran all over the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. That was a massive blowout that I did not foresee coming. So the Niners go to 5-0 there, get the best of their rival in the Cowboys, and then the Raiders beat the Packers on Monday Night Football. And as I stated before, be sure to join the Discord, link in description here, as we've been cooking as of late. I believe we've had 11 to 12 straight days of winning here over the past couple of weeks. We are up 35 and change units year to date, and we hope to get to 50, maybe 60 on the year. We've been cooking in MLB playoffs, NCAA, college football, and of course here in NFL. So let's go to the betting locks. Recap here. As I mentioned, Bears +6, Jags +6. They ended up both winning outright in those games. Saints, Patriots under 40. Patriots didn't even score a point. Saints got to 34 there. Texans, Falcons, there were 760 total yards of offense. This was a clear over spot in the dome, but just some red zone inefficiency and turnovers held us back there as it was 2 points off the total. Then Steelers +5, as I mentioned, won outright. Panthers +10. We thought they would keep it close against the Lions, but the Lions scored 42 there, blew them out. Then Bengals -2.5 in the get right spot in Arizona was a winner. And then Broncos 2 and Vikings +5.5 hurt us in that afternoon window because it felt like the Broncos would win that game in Denver. It was kind of back and forth, very sloppy game there. And then the Vikings, I felt like they kept it close, only lost by 7. We had the 5.5 number here, just wasn't good enough there. Kirk and the boys couldn't get it done late. Then we had the 49ers Cowboys over 45 there. Niners almost cleared that themselves, scoring 42. And then we had the Raiders on Monday Night Football spread, and that ended up winning there. So 2.6 units up on the week. Up 6.9 on the year here, 4-0 in those nationally televised games. So overall betting record on the year, as you can see, 3 of the 5 weeks we've been winning, and we are up nearly 7 units there. Game picks a strong 54 and 24 as well. So now let's get into the week 6 predictions. And in this one, we've got an AFC West matchup on the docket here. Thursday Night Football, Chiefs hosting the Broncos, and the Broncos have not beaten the Chiefs since 2015. I think that streak holds in this one. The Broncos played them close twice last year. Russell Wilson actually played decent in those games. He's been playing decent this year, so I think that there will be some plays to be made against that Chiefs defense and young secondary there, so I expect them to put up some points. But Mahomes and that offense seem to be getting it right there at home. Short week, I just think that the better team will assert their dominance here in this one. Give me the Chiefs to win that one against the Broncos. Then we get to another London game. Ravens playing the Titans here. These teams always play physical, brawl style games, low scoring. Give me the Ravens to win this one narrowly, although I really think it can go either way. Titans have been back and forth, alternating good performances and bad performances, and they're due for a good one here. But going across the pond instead of a true home game, I think will be tough for them. It's tough here in these London games because one team usually doesn't really show up to play, so that could be either of these teams, but I just expect a low-scoring game, and I think that Lamar Jackson and the Ravens will bounce back from that tough collapse there in Pittsburgh last week. Next, we get to the Commanders at the Falcons. Two teams going in different directions at this point. Give me the Falcons to win here. Desmond Ridder played pretty well against that Texans defense. I know the Houston defense isn't great, but he showed some clutch ability going down the stretch there, and I think that their offense is playing very well at the moment. I just think that the Commanders lost 3 straight and did not look good at home against the Bears. Now, granted, they do have a bit of extra rest from playing on Thursday Night Football, but I don't know how they're going to react off of that game, so give me the Falcons here to win at home. Next, we get to a desperation matchup, 1-4 Vikings versus 1-4 Bears in the NFC North. Thought these teams would be a little bit better starting off the season. Give me the Vikings here. This is a true elimination game, as if they go to 1-5, lose this game in Chicago, they're basically done for the playoffs. So I think that Kirk Cousins and this team will not let that happen. I think that they win this game and get a second win in the win column there. I just think that they're better than Justin Fields and that Bears team there. Next, we go to the Bengals at the Seahawks. This one is going to be our lock of the week. Give us the Bengals -2.5 at home here. Seahawks, yes, coming off of a bye, but going on the cross-country trip, I think the Bengals are getting it right here, molding into form. Remember, they started out slow last season, then ripped off a big winning streak there, and I think Jamar Chase, remember, he went for 3 touchdowns, 15 catches, and 190 yards. I think that he could do something similar here against the Seahawks secondary. I remember when the Rams in week 1 diced them up. I think that Joe Burrow could do some similar things here as he's getting more healthy. Geno Smith, there are plays to be made against this Bengals defense, but I ultimately think that Burrow will best him there. Give me the Bengals at a quasi money line spot. Only laying 2.5 here at home. I love that play. Next, we get to the Niners at the Browns here. Browns, another team coming off of a bye, and Niners, a team coming off of a huge home win in primetime. There could be some regression to the mean here, and I think that the Browns could give them a really good game in this one. Low scoring, and I think it's going to be raining in Cleveland at this time, so I think it'll be a slow, mucky game, and I think that the Niners will best them there. Also, I'm not sure on Deshaun Watson's status. I assume he'll play there, but just think that the Niners' talent is much superior at the moment. Next, we get to the Saints at the Texans, and this one really could go either way. It's like that Falcons-Texans game last week, but give me the Saints here. They showed a lot of grit in that game against the Patriots, just completely dominated them there, and I think they could do something similar on the ground against this Houston Texans team, just really dominate time of possession, limit the amount of possessions in the game, and I think that Derek Carr and the Saints offense will do enough to get it done there. Next, we get to an AFC South matchup. This is actually the second time these teams will be playing. Colts at Jags, and the Jags won narrowly in that first game. Was more entertaining than a lot of us thought it would be. In this one, I assume that Gardner Minshew will play for the Colts. Really no big drop-off between him and Richardson. I think this one will be a close game, but give me the Jags again to win this one. It'll be interesting to see how they play. They weren't playing well before those London games. Then they played well 2 consecutive weeks in London. Now coming back to Jacksonville, it'll be interesting to see how they play this here, but just think Lawrence was slinging the ball around against the Falcons and the Bills. I think it'll be no different against the Colts here. Then next, we get to the Panthers, 0-5 at the Dolphins, one of the best teams in the league so far at 4-1. And I just think that this Dolphins team will have another offensive explosion. Expect them to score 30 or 40 points against this porous Panthers defense there. And I mean, the Panthers did put up a decent offensive showing last week, put up 24, but really some garbage time scores there as they were never really in that one in Detroit. Expect something similar here. Give me the Dolphins to win big in that one. Then next, we get to the Patriots at the Raiders, and this one will be very interesting. Remember the game last year where Jacoby Myers threw the ball across the field with no time left as it was tied, and Chandler Jones ended up returning it for the touchdown there. Well, now Chandler Jones no longer with the Raiders, and Jacoby Myers is on the Raiders instead of the Patriots, so that is an interesting development. I mean, also, the Patriots have gotten outscored 72-3 in the last couple of weeks, so they have a lot of things to get right here. Going across country, I just do not think things bode well for them here, so give me the Raiders at home. I think Jimmy G and that offense will do enough to get it done against this horrible Patriots offense there, so give me the Raiders to win at home. Next, we get a good matchup between the Lions and the Bucks here in this afternoon window. Give me the Lions to win this one, although this should be a very entertaining, high-scoring game here, as I'm not high on either of these defenses, but Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield have been lighting it up through the air this season. Just think that the Lions' talent is a bit better at this point, but the Bucks are coming off of the bye, so it would not shock me if they won a high-scoring thriller there. Then next, we get to NFC West matchup, Cardinals at the Rams here. Give me the Rams to win this one. Cardinals have been frisky, have been playing well to this point in the season. Just a couple of mistakes in a lot of these games have held them back. Josh Dobbs, a critical pick six there, was really what lost the game for the Cardinals there last week. And then the Rams played decent against the Eagles. They kept it close for that first half, but inevitably that O-line wore down. I don't think that will happen against the Cardinals here. I think that Stafford to Cooper Kupp connection will be bolstered again this week against a bad Cardinals secondary. So give me the Rams to win there. Next, we get to the 5-0 Eagles at the New York Jets. And this one will be a rainy game. Tough conditions in this one, but both teams really like to play it on the ground anyway. I think this one will be a low-scoring game, but give me the Eagles to win this one. I just like their ground game a little bit better than the Jets. And I think that when it comes down to clutch throws, I trust Jalen Hurts a lot more than Zach Wilson at this moment, so give me the Eagles to win it there. Then we get to the Sunday night matchup, and I cannot believe that the Giants once again are on prime time. This time they face the Bills in Buffalo. I mean, this one will be a horrible game to watch. The Bills offense should light it up through the air, but not expecting much. If Daniel Jones is even available to play, he got injured last week. Could see Tyrod Taylor, who actually did formerly play for the Bills there, but either way, give me the Bills to win this one big. I think they bounce back off that tough performance in London there in primetime here. I think Josh Allen gets it done against a bad New York Giants defense thus far. And then we get to a very interesting Monday night matchup between the Cowboys, who need a win at this point after a tough loss to the Niners on primetime. The Chargers, a team who's been very up and down throughout this season at 2-2 here, coming off of the bye. And this one, give me the Chargers, but I honestly think you could flip a coin to determine the outcome of this game. But I just trust Justin Herbert a lot more than I do Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys will probably have a bounce back performance. They will not look as bad as they did in San Francisco last week, but I think that this Chargers team will be hungry in this one, and I think that Herbert offense will be able to dice up this Cowboys defense there. So give me the Chargers to win that one. So with that being said, let me know your guys' thoughts on all of these predictions in the comments down below. As always, be sure to join the Discord. Link in description for all of our betting locks there to get more information on that. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.